association with BWTM Sports boxing game coming out on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Check it out, www.roundforroundboxing.com. Don't forget to check us out, www.bwtmonline.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, of course, on YouTube. Is Callum Smith. Well, how did we get here? How did we get here? You know, when you make a prediction, first of all, before I even start this off, most people expected Callum Smith to get knocked out tonight. Most people were expecting George Groves to go in there and knock Callum Smith out and get exposed. That's the two things were going to happen with Callum Smith tonight. He was either going to unwind, basically unravel, or unveil. And tonight, Callum Smith unveiled. Now, when you make predictions in fights, and I'm not making any excuses here, when you make predictions in fights, you go for your logical thoughts, more experienced fighter, for higher quality opposition, better technician, blah, 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 blah. You go for it and think, yeah, Callum Smith hasn't really fought anybody. He hasn't really fought any real big punches. George Groves has been in with Froch. He's been in with this. He's been in with that. He's had experience. You know, the one thing, what was a concern going into fight, of course, we talked about was the shoulder. That was the injury. Oh, the injury, the shoulder. But if you'd asked anybody, most people a year ago, for Groves against Smith, you would have thought Groves would have blasted Smith out of there. Most people, of course, if you're a Callum Smith fan, you're jumping for joy tonight. If you're a Smith brother, well, you know, all your Christmases will come early. You know that your brother, the highly touted Callum Smith, is world champion, and not only world champion, world boxing super series champion as well. Now, first of all, credit to his management, his manager, and his promoter, because they've managed to weave their way past Ramirez, past DeGale, past the challengers, the top guys in the super middleweight division, and got themselves. They even got past Jürgen Bremer. That was the fight I thought would have told us more about Callum Smith. Jürgen Bremer got the cold and mysteriously disappeared out of the tournament. We got Nicky Holskin instead as a replacement. So we didn't get really many questions answered about Callum Smith. And now we've got this situation with George Groves. George Groves, the injury with the shoulder. I don't want to keep going about injury to the shoulder because I actually do believe now, watching this fight, that stylistically, Callum Smith was all wrong for George Groves. Now, take us back a bit into this fight. When I sit down and make a prediction, I think, well, okay. McGuigan and Groves, they're pretty smart. They're pretty sensible people. They seem sensible people. Or at least McGuigan comes across like he's sensible. He looks like he's sensible. But I've never actually got a close-up to see what McGuigan's all about, his work. But to be honest, when I look at this and I ask myself the questions, did they actually study Callum Smith? Because I thought, you know, Groves being the intelligent man that he is and boxer that he is, and all the experiences he's had getting knocked out by Froch and, you know, how he did against Eubank and the other fights he's been in tactically, thought he would have learned something under the Booth era. He would have learned something strategically how to take on this fight against Callum Smith. Now, either McGuigan doesn't have a clue how to set up a game plan, Groves can't adapt, or the injury was worse than we first anticipated was. Therefore, they spent more time rehabilitating the shoulder than they did actually training for the fight. And if that's the case, that would explain George Groves' poor performance. That's the first thing. So if you spend most of the time training to rehabilitate the shoulder so you can throw the jab and you're going to be reliant really on the right hand, then that would be an explanation. The other explanation could be, you spent all time rehabilitating, you haven't really got yourself properly prepared to go 12 rounds. So the gas tank is more emptier than usual. The second thing is the Eubank fight. Did that Eubank fight take more out of George Groves than we first thought? That's the other question you've got to ask. And then the third thing is, again, the tactics. We know from what I've seen, and if I'm training George Groves, I say, listen, do not allow Callum Smith to get onto the front foot. Do not allow Callum Smith to set up that jab and get that right hand going. And certainly do not back straight up against the ropes and allow Callum Smith to land body shots on you. Now, from the first round, when that right hand came across and zizzed and hit George on the chin, and he's like, oh, hello. And that right hand, that buzzing right hand, thought, I've got to keep my hands up. But no, George more or less persisted in keeping the left hand low. Keeping the left hand. You would have thought after you got knocked up by Carl Froch that, you know what, I got caught with that right hand because my hand's down low. Let me just try and keep that left hand up more. Let's try and keep that left hand up. Oh no, I'm going to come out for the first round, hand down by the side. And that works sometimes. But when you got a guy who's got longer reach than you, and you're the one who's having to try and get on the inside, you know, he's got a long, and that right hand's already buzzed you once, well, make the adjustments, do something different. Don't get hit with a right hand all the time. I mean, these are experienced fights. I'm wondering what the hell's going on here. No game plan, no change. Groves doing the same thing round after round. There was a moment, I think it was in the second or the third round, he buzzed Callum Smith. And Callum Smith was tucked up like a crab, tucked up tight. Then he exploded. That we had a fight there. But even when there was the exchanges, George Groves looked ragged. He didn't look in control. His shots were wild. A lot of pot shotting, wild shots. Like it was gunslinging. And when it came down to it, every time that Smith would hit him to the body or push him to ropes, George Groves' answer in defense was to whack Smith to the body. So I'm not quite sure what the game plan was. They knew to work Smith's body, but I would have gone, you know what? If that's the case, then this is a six round fight. I've got to hit Smith on the chin. I've got to double up the jab, stick him to the ropes, and put whatever I can on him. At least have a goal and do it that way. Straight punches. Look, make him miss with a jab and counter him with a right hand over the top. Make him miss with the right hand, slip under, throw the left hook. Do those things. Didn't see that from Groves. What we saw was him standing, legs far apart, which when you got your legs far apart as Groves did, you have to then bring your legs together to make any sort of movement. So it's difficult for you to get out of the way. Yes, it's great to plant your feet to land the big shots. That's fantastic. But when you have to get out of the way of shots now, you have to bring both feet back. That's a problem. And it's a more distance for you to get your feet back. See, when you've got your feet a little closer together, you can move back and forth quicker. When you've got your feet sprawled apart like he does, or as close like he's trying to do the splits there, two things happen. First of all, you take the full-blooded force of the punch. The second thing is, and you can't get out of the way of it. It's more difficult to get out of the way of the shot. The second thing is maneuvering yourself in and out. You can't do that. Under the Booth era, Groves did have his legs wide apart, but he was able to then get himself in and out of positions, which is what the strategy we would have to use against Callum Smith. You have to make Smith miss. You have to make him pay. But Smith was doing good things with it. He was using the jab and allowing, just moving back half a step. But with Groves now, when he was moving back half a step, he was still getting hit with a right hand over the top. So I would have thought, gone back to the corner, got right, okay. I've just clocked here. Every time I pull back, this guy still hit me with the right hand. So it's not half a step I need to take back. I need to be taking a full step back. And when I'm just winging a jab. I'm just throwing the jab out there, and I'm not making this guy scared of throwing his own jab. I've got to let something else go. So I would like to see him throw the jab and then fake the jab and throw the left hook. Never saw it. Was there a problem with the left hand? It looked to me there was a problem with the left hook. So was he still injured or all that? Don't know, but he was rushing himself back. He rushed himself back to fight in the final. So now, Smith catching with the right hand, coming out for the sixth round now. I think the sixth or seventh round. I mentioned in commentary that I found that Groves was winging wildly with shots. I said he looked like he was going for hell for leather. He was trying to step up the pace. To me, over two things there. Groves knew he was done. He knew he was done. There wasn't much left in the gas tank. Or he thought, you know what? Maybe I'll catch him with something, catch him clean with something coming in. But what happened was Groves miscalculated, threw a right hand, counted, and beautiful left hook there. Short left hook by Callum Smith. And it was beginning of the end. When he got hit with that left hook, Groves is more or less gone from that point. If you look at the shot, and if you look at it, even when he gets hit with the left hook, Groves is still trying to show I wasn't hurt, but he was badly hurt. I think he was knackered as it was. Got hit with a shot. And then when Callum Smith jumped on him, it was all over. I think McGuigan and Groves knew they hadn't fully recovered. They knew it was a chance they were taking. Groves did not look sharp. The jab looked okay, but you know what? It's their business. Callum Smith is the champion now, and I believe he'll, the guys that fought Callum Smith did better against Callum Smith than George Groves did. So let's hear what you lot have got to say. Interesting to see what your thoughts are and your opinions. Let's see what you have to say. That's what people are saying. It's the body shot that ended it. George couldn't get up. Still amazed at how Callum makes 168. He looks big enough to be a cruiserweight. The left hook started it, says Marky B. Yeah. Check left hook, bang on the chin. Absolutely. And that body shot finished him off. Imagine GGG at 168 against Smith. LOL. Hello, folks. It's hands up, don't shoot. Well done, Callum, lad. Absolutely. Hello, BWTM Sports. Good fight. Indeed, hands up, don't shoot. I think Groves had to work more on the inside. The height advantage was incredible. It was. Groves couldn't handle Smith's reach and height. Mentally worn down. It did. Eddie is going for that pay-per-view money for Smith now. I can see GGG taking that fight against Canelo. Well, I could see GGG moving up and fighting maybe Smith. Groves was reaching with all his shots. Well, you got to ask yourself whether Groves was actually match fit. Copen and weird. Groves kept trying to walk him down as well. I had Groves before this fight, so did I. I had Groves too, says James Jones. Really missed the atmosphere in this bout. That said, I had Groves winning by at least 2-3 by the stoppage. Really, I personally had Smith up. Smith was garbage, in my opinion, but hey, that's boxing. I didn't think Smith was garbage. I think Smith boxed the fight he always boxes. I just don't think Groves was able to make the adjustments. Coping says only one shot. Yeah, Smith is huge. I think that illegal blow behind the back of the head when Groves was down ended the fight. Roy Jones Jr. would have been disqualified for that. Yeah, but listen, that left hook that he got caught with, that counter left hook he got caught with, we could say was illegal as well. Not illegal. It was criminal that George Groves get caught with a shot like that against Callum Smith. The whole way that Groves got beaten up was not good. That's what I said. Eddie's going to take GGG jump to 168 to take on Smith. Think what Froch didn't want to do. He could have took on GGG at 168 pay-per-view money. Notice that seems to be a lot of leniency from Jones Jr. days. Eddie is laughing to the bank. Yeah, of course he is. He's got a star there, isn't he? He's got a star in the making in Callum Smith there. Well, he avoided all the big guns and he came. I'll tell you something. Callum Smith, I just wish David Price's career was managed the way that Callum Smith's career was. If David Price's career was managed like Callum Smith's, everyone would be ranting and raving about David Price today. I'm telling you, they managed his career. If they managed Callum Smith's career, David Price's career, they managed Callum Smith's career. You'd probably be seeing Deontay Wilder versus David Price today, and not Tyson Fury. I'm telling you. 6'3", making 168. Got to respect the dedication to make that weight. Absolutely, absolutely. Did Smith win all the alphabet belts that never had them at all the end? I'm not sure what he meant there. Smith against Joshua. LOL. Smith is big enough. Didn't see IBF and IBO. No, Smith has got, I think, the IBF. Who's got the IBF title? Yeah, DeGale vacated that because he didn't want any of Utaki. So, or Ustageti, whatever his name is. He's dangerous. I remember watching that guy knock out Judas Jackson live. That wasn't nice. So, yeah, he's fighting for the IBF strap. And we've got Ramirez, who's the WBO champion. So, the IBF and the WBO never took part in the tournament in the first place. The ring belt is lovely, though, I've got to say that. So, wherever you are in the world, please do check out BWTM Online. Check out our Facebook page. Check out our TV channel page, bwtmonline.com. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on our new Facebook page. Get on our Facebook page. Give us a like. We'd appreciate that. And don't forget also www.roundforroundboxing.com. Uzkatsky. There you go. Uzkatsky. DeGale, Eubank for December. Yeah, well, you can see that there. Eubank looked terrible tonight against JJ McDonough. Absolutely terrible. There was a point that JJ McDonough was looking like Floyd Mayweather with a shoulder roll as he was missing Eubank's big wild hooks. He does not look good against Southpaws. He looks like he's regressed, because against Billy Joe Saunders, he kind of looked like he knew what he was doing. Against JJ McDonough tonight, Eubank looked absolutely terrible. Great win for Smith. This was the biggest test, and he passed it with flying colours. Yeah, because George Groves boxed completely like a complete novice out there. Either he was injured. We're going to find out somewhere along the line. He was injured. He was rushed back, and he just wasn't fit, because he just didn't look fit to me. Love the afters, though. McDonough wanted a square goal. I would love to see him with that shoulder. That would have been interesting to see. McDonough's shoulder afterwards with Eubank Jr. That would have been interesting. I didn't listen to the afters, but I'll definitely check that out. Smith versus Yard at light heavyweight to 2020. What happens, Ingram? Break down, please. Well, I don't know. I thought that Callum Smith was going to get his ass beat by George Groves. That didn't happen. I don't know. We now know that Anthony Yarde has announced his next opponent, and I thought it was going to be some sort of step up. And, well, it's not a step up. A lot of people think it's not very good. Eubank looked really poor, apart from the knockdown. That was sweet. It was. But he wasn't even bringing his jab back properly. In that fight, he wasn't. He looked terrible. Just seen Yarde's build today. Big rumor AJ had bad injury going into the fight with Povetkin. Well, he looked okay to me. No, he looked fine to me. I mean, he was getting roughed up by Povetkin, which I expected. But that right hand, by the way, can't beat Ingram breakdown of a fight, can you? Yeah. Now listen, when I get it wrong, I get it wrong. But I don't, you know what? I don't like getting a fight wrong when guys don't fight to get game plans. I've got to start putting in my predictions. If they fight to the game plan, then. If they fight like type, then. I've got to start putting these stipulations down in these predictions. Because, you know, after every prediction, I like to go back and say, well, okay, why did I get that wrong? I'm still a student of the game. Why did I get that prediction wrong? Because you don't know about boxing. Well, I'm trying to learn about the sport. So why did I get a prediction wrong? I had the game plan down to a T as to how to beat Callum Smith. What George Groves needs to do. I also told you what George Groves shouldn't be doing, which was don't have your back against the ropes. What did George Groves end up doing? Having his back against the ropes. And how did he get knocked out? With his back against the ropes. There we go. What's going on with Billy Joe Saunders? I read press release from Warren Promo. He's fighting. Don't worry about it. He's still fighting. Don't care if AJ had an injury. Don't play down the achievements now. He beat Povetkin fair and square. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I said. If he beats Povetkin, end of conversation. He beat Povetkin. That's that. I think Eubank needs to move back down to 160. He's a knockout waiting to happen at 168, quite possibly. I was wondering how long it would be for AJ to get discredited again. Well, I'm not going to be discrediting him. Not in that performance. He did well. I said it, and I said it beforehand. I'm a man of my word. If I say something, I stay by that. I stick by it. So if I told you, listen, I've said, if AJ beats Povetkin if he beats Povetkin, for me, he legitimately becomes number one in the world for me, based on Povetkin's recent performances and Povetkin being a former world champion and Ortiz never winning a world title. So there's my point. There's my thoughts on that. You do wonder now with the Gales and Eubank. Eubank is younger, fresher, but I don't know. That's a fight I just don't know how to call. I don't know. Yard versus Callum Smith. You've got to go. You've got to go with a guy that's known. I think in terms of boxing ability, long jab, good right hand, nice to the body. Callum tucks up well. Yard is flat-footed, so Yard's going to have the problem as well that George Groves had, which is getting inside. If Yard can get inside, I mean, Yard punches hard. He punches very hard. There's with him getting on the inside. You go to the body against Callum Smith. Jab, jab, jab city, baby. Well, I would like to... No, actually, you go to the head with Callum Smith because when Groves rocked his head back with a jab, Smith didn't have an answer to that. Fury versus Pulev. IBF final eliminated. Puts Fury mandatory for AJ. I know. I'm going with Fury to stop Pulev, make a statement, and then go for AJ. That's what I'm seeing. See, I expect him to beat. I absolutely expect Hughie Fury to smash Pulev to bits. I've said it before. I expect him to smash Pulev to bits. If he's where I think he is, I expect him to smash Pulev to bits. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You know, but my lord. What happened tonight? Who are you going to blame? You're going to blame... I mean, what was the... I want to know what the strategy was. What is the strategy? And of course, all these people that I'll talk about Shane McGuigan, you've got to ask yourself the question now. With every loss a fighter has, does that go on the fighter? Does that go on the trainer? Does that go on the fighter? Does that go on the trainer? GGG lost to Canelo. A lot of people think that Canelo didn't lose the fight. So they won't say GGG lost the fight. So they won't blame the trainer. But this fight now, do you blame Groves? Do you blame McGuigan? Or do they both take the blame? Me too, I have a sneaky suspicion that AJ will drop the IBF. Trainer and fighter. Okay. This is Michael T. All right. That's cool. Does anybody in the room actually think George Groves, whether it would be last year or this year, would have beaten Callum Smith? Because now, technically, I don't think he would have done. Groves has always been critical of trainers after a bad loss. Perhaps overly critical. Well, I think the Booth style would have been more suited for Groves in this fight, which is the in and out. That would have caused Callum Smith more problems. I don't know if Groves would have ever beaten Smith now, looking at what I saw tonight. Does anyone think that George Groves would have beaten Callum Smith before the World Super Series? Well, I thought Smith was going to get absolutely smashed tonight. I really did. Groves will take on Fielding. Oh, my Lord. Maybe that's the plan. On first Froch performance, I would have. But really, was that Froch first performance overrated? Yeah, he dropped Froch because Froch, I think Froch wasn't really prepared for Groves because Groves couldn't do it in the rematch. Didn't come close in the rematch. Groves will take on Fielding. DeGale takes on Eubank. Then the winner faces each other. Yeah, that sounds good. Groves versus Fielding. That's a good fight, you know. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Oh, by the way, tonight we've got a live show for you. Once I get my studio sorted, we've got a live show for you tonight. We are going to be having Jessica McCaskill back in the house. She's going to be fighting for the world title next week. I think it's next week. Is it next week? October 6th on the Zone. I'm so excited for Jessica. So we'll be having Jessica McCaskill back live tonight, live from Chicago. We're going to have Jessica McCaskill, her trainer Rick Ramos, as they talk about their world title fight for super lightweight world title, super lightweight world title fight. So that's going to be interesting. I've always picked Jessica to become a world champion, so it'll be great if she does become world champion. So we look forward to talking to her again tonight on the channel. So yeah, does anybody else want to say anything else before I disappear off this stream? Thank you all so much as always for your support. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share the videos, whether it be in boxing forums, on your Facebook page, on your Twitter page. Like the button. Make sure you read out the chat section when Jessica is on, bro. As long as you keep it clean, I will. Should be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to Jessica again, as always. I love talking to Jessica. One of my favorite fighters in world boxing today. Exciting, intense. Great personality. And looking forward to seeing her doing her stuff in the ring next week. You're a good dude, Ingram. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Some people don't think I'm a good dude. I haven't done them any harm, but you can't please everybody, can you, Mick? So you just got to do your best and let everything out, let the universe take care of the rest. So yeah, I'm so happy for them because they came on the channel and they were saying, like, you know, there's a fight in Chicago. Eddie Hearn's coming to Chicago, and they weren't even on the card. And I understand that after the interview, they got the call and they got to fight in Chicago. So that's fantastic. I'm so happy for Jessica McCaskill. Right, dudes, guys, and girls, thank you so much for tuning in. I've got to say, girls, shout out to my soldier Eve out there listening tonight on the channel. Thank you so much for saying that you enjoyed the audio. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who listened to the audio and the commentary early on, really appreciate you listening in. Right, dudes, ladies, and lads, I'm going to be back with Jessica McCaskill. Well, she said 7 p.m. People hating on Ingram, trash talking, can't believe he thinks you're miking. I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. Not interested. I'm focused on the people down in front of me. Let the universe do the rest, or my fist. Oh, violence, son. That's not going to solve the situation. Silence and focus on doing what you need to do, being the best you possibly can be. Those who are with you, focus. You know, so that's what it's about. I'm out of here. I'll see you all soon. When we come back tonight, we'll have Jessica McCaskill in the house. Stay tuned. Round for Round Boxing in association with BWTM Sports, www.roundforroundboxing.com. Check out the website. They've got a new website. And once again, www.roundforroundboxing.com. And like them on their Facebook page as well.